Hello, it's Alex, the Bookubus. Today I'm doing a tag video and it is the Loomis tag created by Loomis, care of Andrew at It Came From The Page. This is a tag where all of the questions are related to Andrew's amazing cats. So I definitely wanted to join in with this tag, and it isn't Old School April related, but I'm having so much fun with Old School April that all of my picks for my answers are old school books. So without further ado, let's make a start on these questions. Question number one is, Loomis, name the most chaotic book you've ever read. And my pick for this is more an author rather than a specific book, but really anything by D.A. Fowler. She had a handful of really great books out in the 1990s, and of the ones I've read, What's Wrong with Valerie, The Book of the Damned, and also The Devil's End, they have all been chaotic in the best possible way. Her books are super crazy and super fun. They are dark and disturbing, but also have a really dark humour to them as well. So yeah, they're just a really fun time, but yeah, chaotic is probably also a good way to describe them. Question number two is, Nami, name the luckiest book you've ever found. And that's probably got to be the Friday the 13th YA books by Eric Morse that I found. So I have three of them. We've got book one, Mother's Day, book two, Jason's Curse, which is the only one I've read so far, but it was really fun. Definitely enjoyed it. And book four, Road Trip. So I'm missing book three. These books go for crazy prices online, but I was very lucky and found all three of these out in the wild. I found two of them in a Goodwill thrift store, and they weren't even on the same shelf. They were in completely kind of different parts of their book section. So when I happened to find two, I then had to go through the entire section again, like twice, just in case there were any more lurking in there. There weren't, at least not that I found, but I was definitely very happy to find two of them. And then I found two more at a library book sale, and yeah, was just so psyched to have found them. One of them was actually a duplicate of one that I already had, so I sent that over to the lovely Kelsey at Slime and Slashers, because yeah, I know that was going to go to a good home there. But yeah, so that left me with these three. One day I hope to find book three, The Carnival, but yeah, I'm definitely not going to be dropping $100 on it, that's for sure. Question three is, Wisteria, name the book that is best to snuggle up with. And for me, that has to be point horror books. Any point horror, really, even the bad ones are just really fun and nostalgic to read. I grew up with these, from like age, 10 or so to my young teens, and they just hold a really special place in my heart. So these are always wonderful to snuggle up with and just, have a good nostalgic time with. These are just a few. Trick or Treat by Richie Tankersley Cusick. We've got Beach House by R.L. Stine, and The Cheerleader by Caroline B. Cooney. I've also got the t-shirt. So yeah, these are definitely good ones to snuggle up with. Question number four is, Claude, name the book that has the best adventure. And I'm going with a choose your own adventure book. I used to love these when I was younger. We had a handful of them. I didn't have tons of them, but we had several probably, and yeah, they were always a lot of fun. And yeah, going through and trying the different options to get different endings was always just such a good time and a great adventure. And this is one, I think the only one that I've actually kept hold of since I was a kid, and this was book 100. So very special. This is The Worst Day of Your Life, and I did have a crush on the boy on the cover. I know I've mentioned that before, but I'm generally willing to make fun of myself and reveal these deep dark secrets to you. So there we go. Question five is, Jughead, R.I.P. Jughead. This question is to name a book you love but no longer own. And there are definitely plenty of books that I have gotten rid of for one reason or another over the years, and now regret doing so, but one that came to mind from my childhood was called My Learn to Cook book, and this was, I believe, from the 70s. I'll put some pictures up here that I found online so you can see what it was like, but I think this was one that we found in a charity shop. It definitely wasn't one that we bought new, but I just, yeah, loved the style of it, the illustrations, and I definitely remember trying out some of the recipes when I was a kid. So it definitely holds some good memories from my childhood in it, but yeah, at some point I guess I got rid of it, and yeah, wish I hadn't. But yeah, maybe one day I can track down another copy. And question 6 is to add your own pets. And I have 2, so I'll start off with the cat to keep with the cat theme, and that is Barry. So we've had Barry for a few years now. He had been abandoned when he was probably about 1 year old. Not entirely sure, but yeah, his owners basically moved out and didn't take him with them. So yeah, we decided to take him home with us because that was just too sad to leave him. Yeah, we've had him for a few years now, and he's grown into a wonderful cat, and he is yeah, pretty independent. He is very sweet and very affectionate when he wants to be, but he also has a feisty side, so he does like to play, and yeah, can get a bit aggressive when we get into some playtime. So my question for Barry is to name a book with a feisty or strong character. And my answer is going to be the main character Angela in Monster by Christopher Pike. So this one starts off at a party, and a friend of Angela's turns up with a shotgun and kills a couple of people, and Angela is trying to figure out why her friend has done this. And yeah, in doing so, she puts herself into quite a number of crazy situations. So yeah, maybe feisty isn't quite the right word for her, but she's definitely a strong character, and yeah, puts herself through some stuff in order to find out what is going on. And we also have a dog, Freddie. We got him from like a rescue shelter about 6 years ago, and I think he was 5-ish when we got him. So he is, yeah, about 11 now, and getting, you know, he's getting to be a bit of an older dog. We fell in love with his wizard eyebrows and the heart on his head. And yeah, generally, especially now he's a bit older, he is pretty chill. He likes mainly to eat and sleep. Those are his favourite things. But he can be a bit of a naughty boy as well. You know, sometimes he just does naughty things, and he's also he gets quite aggressive when people walk by outside, and he will bark a lot, very, very loudly at them. So yeah, he is basically 90% good dog and 10% maniac. The question for Freddie is to name a book that was 90% good and maybe 10% something else. And my answer for this is It by Stephen King. I gave this one 4.5 stars, so it is, yeah, literally 90%. And this is a really excellent book. But yeah, there were a couple of things that didn't quite work for me. I think mostly it was the fact that he goes into a lot of side stories to establish the fact that, yeah, this It entity has come back every certain number of years to the town, and so yeah, it kind of goes back to different stories from different periods of time. And just after a while it was like, yeah, we get it. You know, it becomes superfluous after a while. I just feel like, you know, it's a massive book as it is, and it could have been, you know, just tightened up a little bit maybe. So those were my answers to the Loomis tag, plus my extra Barry and Freddie questions. If you do the tag, I would love to see your video and see your answers. Don't feel you have to add in my questions if you don't want to, but if you do want to, then absolutely go for it. And I'm not going to tag anyone specifically, but I do encourage anyone and everyone to do it because it's a lot of fun. So thank you to Loomis and Andrew from It Came From The Page for this wonderful tag. And yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video.